The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Cities 92.9, its staff, management, or advertisers. They can't cancel him or Cities 92.9. It's Cancel This with Ty Smith. The show brought to you by Heart Not Skin, the BN nonprofit ending racism.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you are listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. Again, that phone number is area code 309-451-9299. You can text the show at that same number. If you would like to see me live in the studio, go onto YouTube. When you go onto YouTube, go to Modern Renaissance Man. You get there, just go to the little thumbnail that shows me live. I can interact with you in the studio, and you can interact with me. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very, very good guest that's going to be coming to join us on the show today. And I think he is already here. You know him. He's another person that went viral on the internet for speaking up and speaking out. Number one, as a father, but also against wrong, against evil. He spoke out against CRT. Sounds familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Brian, are you here, sir?
Hey, man, how are you doing? Thank you.
I am always good. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. Grateful.
You know what? I'm so glad to have you on this show. And it's so funny because I was busy I was at a speaking event, and people just kept on. I kept getting these texts that came in and say, hey, it's another guy out there that spoke up like you did. In fact, his hairstyle is almost like yours, too. You got to see this. You got to see this. And then I'm getting people that are like my subscribers on the internet. They all start saying things like, Ty, it's a guy out there. Everybody's calling him Ty 2.0. I'm like, wait, what? So I had to see this video to see what they were talking about. And when I looked it up, I saw you speak out, man. And I was just like, yes, somebody else that's not afraid to speak up, somebody else that is bold with it, somebody that did not seem like they were scared and can give two hoots about what anybody think of him. He spoke and was standing up as a father. What do you have to add to this, man? What was your thoughts when you got up there and did that? Like, what motivated you and drove you to do it?
Man, just the truth. Obviously, we had the whole thing we're coming through as a country with the mask, and a lot of the important things have been lost. I call it the mask distraction. We were fighting at the school board. We had parents going in there, and they were fighting for the mask. And a lot of these things that are important to us just kind of went out with the wash, and I wasn't going to let that happen.
Man, that was really, really, really awesome what you did. And it's so funny to me because I noticed how with your body language, you turned and let the people know that you wasn't just speaking to those that were up there in front of you, the school board. You were also speaking to the ones that were behind you as if you were saying, parents, I'm with you guys. I got y'all back. We're all in this together.
Listen, man, we are together. Parents agree with us, Ty. I had a chance to look at your video and read some of the things that you said, and the fact is parents agree. And we don't have anything to be afraid of. We're the largest special interest group in the country, brother.
Man, absolutely. And see, I think what the problem is, though, is that, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what type of stuff you done got, but man, I'm just straightforward shooting. Did you receive any type of backlash from what they call like the black community?
Oh, you know what? I got some, and it was shameful because all of the racist things said happened to come from people who look like me. Oh, see, and
I'm so glad that you're saying that because most people have no idea that like what they call hate, it was coming mainly from the ones that look exactly like us.
Like I said something bad. What I said is my little pecan colored kids, they can do anything. Like you would think that people jump all on board with that.
Right.
But that's not what happened.
You know what's really amazing is that I'm just saying it because I'm saying this based off the term that it actually means. It really is that hatred that we receive. It really is based off of the ignorance of what they don't know about what this is all about.
Yes.
And go ahead.
But now, thank you for letting me say it. So we talk about the side of CRT where it says the white people are evil oppressors. the other side is that black people are oppressed, but they usually don't finish telling what the curriculum really entails, which is that black people are oppressed because they say we're inferior. And so, that's where everybody thinks is just, hey, a more inclusive form of history. And that's just not what it is.
No, and see, that's the part that gets me right there is that I had a lot of people, which I'm pretty sure you're going to have, trust me when I tell you, you're going to have more to come from all kinds of different avenues, that the number one thing that I kept getting is, and this is from the black community, and then this is on my, I screenshotted the stuff that they said about me. This is coming from black people. Yeah. This N-word don't know what he's talking about. This N-word don't know that this is all history. This N-word don't know nothing about CRT. You can tell that by the way he's talking, he don't know nothing about CRT. He just talking. And yeah. And what got me is that I pretty much spoke out at that school board meeting. I pretty much hit on the meat of what I know the CRT does. I mean, they only give us a certain amount of time to, speak on what we feel about it. We don't have time to break down the history, where it started at, how Marxism made its way into it, et cetera, et cetera. So with that being said, like in your case, what have you been getting, and have you been getting told to you about what CRT is? Did you get the whole thing? You're ignorant to CRT. You don't know what you're talking about?
Oh, buddy, I got all of that. If I knew what I was talking about, I'm ignorant. Your mama's white. That's why they don't know what color my mama is, but your mama's white. That's why you think that way. Man, it was interesting. And
you know what? And I don't know what your family structure is, or anything like that. But the fact you said pecan kids, so I take it that your kids are they're mixed.
No, I'm mixed.
You're mixed. Okay. And the reason why I say
that happen to be pecan,
and I'm mocha chocolate. So I mean, but the reason why I say that is because one of the things that you're going to get this, and one of the things that I found out is that they tried to find something to hit me with. They said, "Oh, I bet you this N-word is like the rest of them other coons like that. I bet you his wife is white, and my wife is not." But it's the fact that these are things that they try to get to distract us from the subject that's at hand.
That's exactly what they do. And you know what? My family structure, I don't tell anybody what it is. They don't have a clue because they don't know. So they when I look at it, that helps that they're not right in most cases. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking they literally just want to disqualify me. They don't give a rip about what I actually said.
No, I think you know what it is. It's one of those deals where once you pull somebody's card, instead of them listening to what you said, it's instantly, you offended me, I'm upset, I'm not hearing anything that you said, whether what you said is true or not. All I know is that you are a coon, you a tap dancer for the white man, you a Uncle Tom, you a porch N-word, all these things come flying out. But then yet at the same time, I'm to this day, man, I have challenged any of them to come to the radio show. I challenge them to call in. Nobody wants to do it.
No, they won't do it because they really don't know themselves, and what you and I do, here we are in America. We've had every opportunity. Our children have every opportunity. We teach our children that. I'm standing here like, hey, my kids were born for great things, and I want them to have better opportunities than I have.
Right.
And America's the only place where that story is even possible.
Right. And see,
so I don't understand.
Right, and it amazes me that how dare me and you push out hope and opportunity for anybody. How dare we speak and say you can do whatever you want to? How dare we say, you can achieve the dreams you want to? How dare we push them to say just go ahead and do it? How dare we do that?
How dare we? I call it, Ty, I know we're on the radio, we're going to throw it out there. I like to call it the black tax.
Go ahead.
We're the only group of people that when we do well, we're not allowed to be optimistic about America.
Nope.
We have to somehow pretend like America's not great.
Yes.
I have friends, black folks, outrageously successful, and their children have every opportunity and every advantage. No one in America has an additional right that we don't have, but yet we're not allowed to say, wow, only in America is this possible.
Right. I mean, it blows my mind. And you know what? And when I went through the portion of my physical therapy program, before I gave that speech at the school board meeting, I could not believe that there was like maybe three white people there, and then there was one Asian girl. And as they all got up and spoke, they made the comments like, well, we all are grateful that Ty did what he did. He worked his way through college and X, Y, Z. But I'm sure, this is what their words were, I'm sure that he had to work 3 times as hard as all the other white people there. I said, no, I didn't. Y'all wasn't, you know what I mean? Y'all wasn't in school with me or in class with me to say something like that. Matter of fact, and we can ready to take a break here. And I'm gonna say this real quick. Before I even knew it, I looked up and I was one of the first black people to come through this therapy program. I went and asked my professor. It had nothing to do with racism. I just said, hey, I noticed that I'm the only one that looked like this. I said, is there a reason why? And she said, yes. And she said, Ty, because you're the only black person that applied. Not many of them know about this program. That's what she said.
Wow.
And, so anyway, I hope you stay here for a second. We get ready to take a break here. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man. And you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at 309-451-9299. And if you would like to see me live in the studio right here where I can interact with you and you with me, go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, click on the thumbnails that says live, and we are live in the studio. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Brian. And Brian went viral on the internet for speaking out against CRT and standing up for his children. And I love this so much because this is something that we are not seeing enough of. I mean, I know that there's a lot of videos about parents standing up in meetings, but look, I'm not trying to put no tag on this, but it is absolutely 100% awesome when I see that there are definitely men, strong men, who are not afraid, who are standing up, who are not thinking of having something in the back of their mind saying, well, I don't know if I'm showing too much toxic masculinity about me getting up and speaking out for my children. So we have Brian right back in here again, ladies and gentlemen. Brian, again, appreciate you for taking time out to talk with us, to share your insight on this. I want to jump on something here. Whenever you seen pretty much the structure of how CRT was made up and how it can affect like even blacks and whites, what is something that like come to mind to you that say, okay, y'all, this definitely is wrong?
The roots of it. So once you start at the very beginning with Karl Marx and conflict theory, once the root is rotten, there's no need to further investigate the tree. And that's where I stand on it.
A lot of people don't even know what Marxism is. And what gets me is that there are a lot of groups that are behind this. You know what I mean? They're like Black Lives Matter during that summer of love, tearing stuff up. The fact that the lady, I mean, man, Brian, people have like wanted to of course, I got real tough skin, so I throw blows right back at them whenever they try to throw shots verbally. But people got absolutely mad at me when I said, and I showed a video of the woman, one of the leaders of Black Lives Matter herself, saying, we are trained Marxists.
Yes. I saw a similar video. And you would think that immediately people would scatter from that kind of situation and that disposition, but they didn't.
And see, I don't know, like I said, I don't know, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to get to know you in the future, but I don't know your background, but I definitely came up in the streets of I grew up in Chicago some, and then I grew up in Decatur, what they call baby Chicago. I mean, I'm talking about I've seen murders and killings. We grew up in the hood, in the ghetto, around crackheads, the whole nine. And I do know that for some odd reason, amongst the culture that I was in and the ones that I see amongst a lot of my black friends that I grew up around in the ghettos, is that it's almost like this too much pride if you get showed something, and they still try to remain loyal to that. If you show them, hey, I mean, we got tricked into, trying to be a part of a gang, and once you find out, hey man, gangs murder people, and they actually the reason why my auntie is strung out on, heroin. But I can't say nothing against them once I found this truth out because I'm too vested now.
That's what it is. I don't sit around and argue about how people feel. Because that feelings change. I mean, literally from minute to minute, feelings can change. But after we finish going through our feelings, we have to look at the facts, and then from there we make decisions.
Well, now you just caused a problem when you said that facts word. Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, that's where it's at. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the fact that you know, we do have opportunity, that we have all of the rights we need as Americans. There's nothing being withheld from us. There's all kind of people in America, you know, and some of them are successful and some of them not.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the same thing in the black community. Some of us are successful, some of us are not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to move forward. Now, this is what I do understand. I understand that for you and I, the opportunity gap is closed. And that this is the first generation that opportunity gap is closed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people won't face the fact that, man, we have a bright moment and bright future right now because every opportunity is before us. And as we take advantage of it, all of the wealth, all of the opportunities for our children, all of those things are coming to us as Americans, not just black people. As Americans in general, we are set up to have a very fruitful tree.
Man, that is so awesome. And see, that's what I love about that is that by you saying it just like that, if you were to say that in front of a group of young, maybe I'm just saying, because I deal with a lot of kids and middle-aged adults, if you used to say that to a group of teenagers, pre-teenagers on down, do you know what type of thing that you will spark within their soul?
That's what I mean, man.
They will feel so motivated. Look what this guy just said, and look at him. He must know something that I don't know. If he can do that, then surely I can. But then you got somebody to jump in there and say, oh, no. See, he's mixed, though. See, the white side, or I don't know what you mix with, but his whatever counterpart that he's mixed with, he got the privilege of that person right there. That's why he's able to get where he is.
It's ridiculous, man. I mean, and you know, you almost want to just not argue because it's such a ridiculous argument, but we can't afford to keep silent.
No.
I mean, when I said we're taking back the wheel as parents, this stuff is in danger. I mean, think about it. 10, 15 years from now, Ty, the children they're teaching today are being taught that black people are oppressed, white people are evil, and then they're going to be the decision makers. They're going to be your children, my children's co-workers, employees, employers, or business associates, right? Like one day these children are going to be in charge. They're going to be making decisions for people who don't look like them.
Exactly.
And it's like the ultimate anti-MLK. You know, and I saw you noticed this also. Martin Luther King says, not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. Now they're teaching that the color of our skin actually determines the content of our character.
Isn't that amazing? Which is flat out, all out racist to me.
All out.
That's what I'm saying. It's so funny that the very people that like to push this rhetoric and this ideology, a lot of folks have no idea they are actually being more racist towards you when they got things out there. Well, you know, this is racist when they're trying to make black people do math, reading, and writing, when that was a very thing that black people were being killed for actually trying to do and teach to their kids during the slave days.
Yeah.
See, that's what. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to agree. I said it's racist.
And one thing I do like is this. You said parent. And I always say this, man. I say this all the time. My son's 20 years old and 18. And not one time ever in our household, we didn't even talk about no colors whatsoever. My sons, them had friends. That's it. Dad, I want to go play with my friends. Which friends? Oh, my friends across the street. Oh, our friends next door. They never once out of their mouth ever said, oh, my white friend next door or my black friend across. All they knew is that those were their friends.
That's right.
So can you imagine, like right now in school, they're actually trying to put this in, you know, first, second, and third grade to actually make the kids focus on skin.
They're trying to take us back. And as parents, I think people like you and I speaking up, as parents, everyone I've spoken to actually wants the same thing. We want our kids to be safe. We want them to have the opportunity to flourish. We want them to open thriving businesses or become great professionals or whatever it is they're going to do.
Yes.
We all agree on that. And the challenge, Ty, that I give to everybody is let's believe our life. We're at football games, grocery stores. My wife and I own a couple of businesses where people come in, interact. Everybody's together, loving one another, inviting each other to dinner somewhere. That's the life we live. Am I supposed to listen to a dude on TV tell me my life isn't real, that there's this great big racial tension and I don't really have opportunity? You know? I mean, what is that?
Right.
Everybody needs to believe their life.
Man, see, that's what I'm saying. And it just, I think one of the biggest things is that's going to mess a lot of people up is the fact that people like you and I, we are speaking out. We're men I hate to even say color. I hate to say I'm a man of color. I'm just me. I'm a black man. And with that being said, I'm like, when I was in that room during that school board meeting, I was not saying what I said to make a statement. I was challenging all the ones that was actually against. No, I'm not. I want to say opposed because I was one of the last people to speak. But I turned and I was looking all side to side, saying, "Well, if there's some white man that's oppressing me, then how did I get where I am right now? I would love for one of y'all white folks here to tell me this. Please tell me how I got where I am."
That's right. I saw your video. I thought that was awesome because you believe your life.
Yes. They had no idea. And there were high schoolers and college students that were in there that after we got done, I let them know I don't dislike any of y'all. I don't hate any of you guys or anything like that. I said, but if y'all want to see where my passion comes from, I said, I can take you guys to the very neighborhoods that I grew up in. You guys will be safe. But what I want to do, I'm going to take you guys there, and I want you to ask the black people who are still currently in their predicament, ask them if it's any white person's fault, why they are where they are. Guess how many said they'll go with me?
How many?
Zero. But every last one of them was getting up there and virtue singing. Oh, the black people, they're so down, and it's our fault. Our whiteness did this to them, and we have white privilege from our inherited fathers, and this is what. And none of them wanted to go with me. Ladies and gentlemen, we can ready to take another break. Brian, this time is flying with you on the phone with me here, man. I hope I don't hold you too long. We're going to take one more break and get you on, and maybe we'll be able to let you go then. More to the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You're on Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal.
Head to cities929.com and click on podcast. The Twin Cities. Take them back with Cities 92.9.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you can interact with me, go onto YouTube. Type in Modern Renaissance Man. Click on my thumbnail where it says live streaming, and you will be able to get right in on the mix because this is an exciting guest we have on here right now. We welcome to the show Brian Echeverria. He went viral for speaking out against CRT, and he spoke out against CRT so boldly. And we're just going to continue on in this conversation. Brian, your children, what are they going to expect to hear from you all the time as they progress through their life before they hit adulthood?
You know, I teach my sons about manhood. I tell them men work, they make disciples, they reject passivity, they accept responsibility, they lead courageously and expect greater rewards. You know, this is something I rehearse over and over again. The way I see our children is prospering in America, my sons standing like Superman, taking responsibility, being brave, and I envision them sitting on a train somewhere with their legs wide open. So,
I love it.
That's how I see it. They're going to take up space. They're going to be men. How rich they'll be, who knows? That's not even what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about rising to the challenge, having a great family, having integrity, and taking advantage of the wildly successful experiment called America.
You know, what's funny to me is that, you know, there's this thing that they did with some of us when we were younger. I program that we came up in for kids that came out of a single parent home or low income area. We came up in a program called Homework Hangout, and the director there, bless him, Keith Anderson, they did this thing with us one time, and it became popular in today's world. They call it Scared Straight. And man, what they did, they took us there. And they took us there and they put us in front of these big old giant huge men behind these bars that was yelling and slobbing and telling us, you know, I can't wait for y'all to get in here because I can't say on the radio, but you can only imagine the crazy things they said they would do to us when we got in there. And looking at our little old selves thinking that we were all tough and big and bad and bold, there is nothing we can do to those guys. And the reason that I say that is that I wish there can be like this huge thing that we can do in America where the ones who cry about America, how terrible America is, how terrible racist America is, I wish we could take those ones that's doing all that virtue signaling so big and bad and put them in another country and just let them stay there for a week and see if they want to come back.
Listen, I've been to more than 20 other countries. So when I say America is the greatest nation on earth, at this time, it is the greatest nation on earth. I have a little, that's more than anecdotal. You know, and I've lived abroad. So I didn't just visit for a weekend. I don't mean 20 countries, 20 resorts. Okay? I mean 20 countries. This is how they live. I had the opportunity to experience that. And America is the greatest place. Human migration proves that. If we wanted to talk about how we feel, let's talk about human migration as a fact. Throughout history, humans go to where they believe they have the best opportunities for their families to flourish and be safe. And right now, America, that's the one. People are trying to get here. They risk their lives to be here. Literally, obviously, we have what's going on at the border. I'm not commenting about border security. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is there are parents who believe that their children have a better chance in America without them than in their own country with them.
That is absolutely perfect. That is absolutely perfect, because I always give this little, I mean, you know, there's the thing, I don't know what your background is as far as religious wise, but I'm a minister of Christ following man. And one thing I see that's in the Bible, he makes a remark saying, you know, how can you take care of the church if you can't take care of your own home, pretty much, if your home is not in order? So the reason I say that is because me and my wife, a lot of people in our church family, they love coming over to our house. Our house is open. They could come in because they know there's going to be love, there's going to be counseling, there's going to be fun. We play games, and we don't even tell them when they have to leave. If they want to fall asleep on our couch in my man cave area, hey, so be it. They can stay as long as they want to. Now, if somebody was to make up a story and talk about how terrible of a person me and my wife was, how racist we were, we don't like anybody, we don't feed anybody, we don't treat anybody well, but then yet you would think that people say, well, I'm confused because people seem to always be over their house. So
Exactly.
The reason I say that is because for us to be such a terrible place, then how in the world why are these people trying to migrate here?
Listen, that's what I mean. After you get over the feelings, I won't argue with anyone's feelings. You know, literally, I don't do that. But after you get over that, because I understand the heart can be hurting, the heart can be traumatized, the heart can be angry. But after that, we have to look at the facts.
That's too
and
hard.
One of the facts is everybody is trying to get here.
Right.
And we're already here.
So, I mean, you may, with this also, next thing I'm getting ready to tell you as well. While I was coming up, I noticed that, you know, we called it Concrete Jungle, Chicago projects and Decatur projects. The areas that we stayed in, you know, there really wasn't really no green grass. Everything was just solid concrete everywhere in bars, right? So one of our friends who I went to school with, he was on our basketball team, white guy, and his mom invited us over for his birthday party. And we took the bus as far as we could to go out there to where the suburbs were. And when we walked through the neighborhood, we were like, our minds were blown. We never seen grass that green and trimmed so well or anything like that. But what I'm saying that for is that seeing that, it sparked something in me like, I can have this. Like, what do I need to do to get this? And so we spent the birthday party with my friend Derek Hodges. I'll never forget his house, asking his parents, like, what is it that y'all do, or how can we do that? And they was like, oh, all you got to do is just, when you get done with high school, go here and do this and X, Y. I think his dad was a welder. And he was like, yeah, you just go to welding school and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, you can buy whatever truck you want to, Todd. And I don't know why, it sparked something in me too. Like, oh my God, that's all I got to do. Like, I mean, I'm serious. That's the way I thought about it.
Yeah.
That's all I have to do. But then, when I go back to the hood, I can't do that because the white folks are not going to let me. Have you experienced anything like that yourself?
Of course. Not only have I experienced that, but I think we're all experiencing it right now as a nation, because 8 years ago, when Barack Obama was in office, all the Democrats, all the black people were saying, yes, we can. Now, all of a sudden, they're saying, no, we can't. and you know, I'm like, let's get over this. So Ty, for me, just to share this, because I find the most solidarity in heart and thought. Okay, in heart, unified in Christ. In thought, we share principles. We desire the same outcome. The thing about it is, hearts and thoughts don't have colors.
Woo!
And that's where I find the most solidarity, because I'm willing to take a look at myself, take a look at life, learn any rules that there are, and play to win. Be where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there, and then play to win. That is the way it is athletically. And I'm going to tell you something. It's an amazing dynamic, and you and I both know it's true. Only losers complain about technicalities.
Yes. Absolutely yes. Spot on. People on the internet are going crazy saying this guy is killing it. He's hitting it. He's hitting the nail on the head. The whole nine. I love that, man, because I think what it is that I can just tell just from, man, it seems like I've known you for a long time just based off how you talking right now, how your thought process. And what gets me is that I feel like from you, I can say, you guys, y'all not going to be able to get this guy to break. He is not going to break because he knows his experience. He knows what he's gone through. He became successful, and no one is going to be able to take that from him by trying to say he's some sellout.
No, I'm not worried about that. I have a wonderful life in Christ. I have the greatest friends and family, black, white, Hispanic, everything. So a bunch of people who don't know me talking bad about me is not going to change the fact that I live this life right now.
No.
I live in a great community. You know, I live in a place where my children have every opportunity, and that place is right here in America.
Absolutely. I'm
not really, you know, and I'm not being defiant to say that, but I will say this, before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it.
Ooh, love that. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know, I know we're going to have to definitely be in contact with each other because you, along with me and a few other folks, that I'm definitely going to get some things, your information to them, will be absolutely a danger to the evil. And that's what I tell everybody. I don't care about no left. I don't care about no right. All I care about is I know that as being in Christ, we know what we are up against. And what I told people is I said, I have nothing against women, nothing at all. I said, but the Bible clearly said that, like, when the spirit goes out, when it tries to come back, or whenever this evil comes, it has to overtake the strong man. It's a reason why that's there. And people like you who are standing up, who are strong, who are not faltering, you are a threat to the evil one that is working with these men to push out this ideology, and we have become a threat. But at the same time, what I love about this is that the ones that the evil spirits, they know that you are a real man of God. You do not mess around. You are doing exactly what you are supposed to do as a man of God, and you are a threat to them. And that's why they do not want to. I guarantee you won't get no calls from CNN. They didn't want to have nothing to do with me.
They didn't call me either.
No, Don Lemon does not want that fight right there. They're going to be able to see who really is a beta male versus an alpha. So, I mean,
yes.
Plain and simple, man. But I love that, man. And what I really like about this as well is that you getting where you are did not allow anybody, did not allow any certain circumstances keep you from doing that, and you're going to bestow that upon your children. Now, what I also want to ask you is this question. When you got up there and you spoke so boldly like that, is it that you absolutely 100%, number one, had your children in the back of your mind, and then all other children that may not have a father like you?
You know, I don't think I've thought that far as children without a father like me. What I did think about is, what do I want the world to look like in the next 10 years? What opportunities do I want for children of any color in the next 10 years, with or without their father? I did think about that. And the reason I spoke from my personal experience is because I believe I'm very normal. Yep. I believe that I am uniquely loved by God, perhaps some unique friends, but I'm very normal. And if that's my story, that my children can do well, my little pecan color kids, right? That my daughter is dynamic in so many ways. If that's my story, I think parents believe that about their children also. I tell my children, I say, hey, you were born for great things. But I also tell that to the children who come to play with my kids.
Yes.
So it's not that I'm like, hey, my kids alone. No. This is a world that we're going to live in. They're going to be decision makers. These all the children out there in the world, you know, 2 of them are going to become my son's wives. 1 of them is going to become my daughter's husband. I don't know who they are. What I need is for them to also share that this is the greatest place so that they too can take advantage of opportunities together.
Absolutely. Brian, I thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today. This is going to actually be played again over and over on YouTube. Man, we definitely going to, if he can get your information after this, we'll get with you because I got to get some people your number, sir. Thank you so much for coming on, Brian. God bless you, sir.
You're welcome.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather from WMBD.
What is going on at Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. You can also text the show at 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio, go onto YouTube. And once you get there, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail of me as if I'm live in the studio. All right? Make sure you do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had an awesome conversation with Brian Echeverria, and we were hitting on the whole critical race theory thing. And it's so amazing because Brian kept on talking about things that was just, he made so many powerful statements. But if y'all all were here listening, the major thing that a lot of people should have took from this is that it had nothing to do with our skin color. Brian's success and my success had nothing to do with our skin color versus our heart to do what we just always want to do with our lives. So that's what I'm saying. So with things like that, it's time to end this racist nonsense. Bloomington Normal, yeah, the racist nonsense is over with. You can take advantage of this and show your love all around Bloomington. I would love to see you guys sporting the same shirt that I'm wearing right now. Heart Not Skin. HeartNotSkin.com. You can go to this website right now, HeartNotSkin.com, and get a t-shirt, bumper sticker, and you can also contribute to the cause of ending racism. This is what I'm going to be wearing to counter any type of people that are out there wearing the shirts that got like Black Lives Matter. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying Black Lives Matter, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The ones who want to push racial division, I'm wearing this shirt for those like that. I'm not, now, if you offer Black Lives Matter, that's fine. But Heart Not Skin pretty much means we're not focusing on our skin color. We are focusing on what's on the inside, your heart. And when we say heart, we're not talking about a physical heart. We're talking about the very thing that makes up the very being of who you are. The very fibers of what makes up your mind, your mentality, your character. That's the heart of you. That's who you are. And that's what Heart Not Skin is all about. The focus is about you as a person, mentally, physically, emotionally, not as a person based off of your color. So go to HeartNotSkin.com and make sure you purchase your t-shirt. You also get a decal that has an open hand, and each finger has a shade on it. And pretty much the hand is open, not a closed fist. Closed fist can represent a few things. It can represent violence, and also it can represent something means that you are not ready to receive. So I tell a lot of people that, you know, you wear a shirt that says Black Lives Matter with a fist on there. So spiritually and emotionally, you need to open that fist up so you can receive what I'm getting ready to tell you, or what I'm trying to, you know, push off to you. And if you don't want that, all right, go ahead and keep a closed fist, because you'll never be able to receive no blessing with your hands closed. Plain and simple. So again, that's HeartNotSkin.com. Go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys heard that conversation went really, really well with Brian. And I love it because it had nothing to do with us bashing anybody that thinks differently than us. It had nothing to do with Brian being a black man. It had everything to do with the fact that we both were pretty much standing on truth. And the truth is, we did what we wanted to do in the United States. That's it. What avenue we decided to travel down, as far as having a job, as far as Brian's choice in a wife, as far as Brian's choice in how he raises his kids, as far as Brian's choice in his religion, no matter what it is, he set out to do those things, and he accomplished those things. Why? Because we have the freedom to do so. He made a comment in there, was talking about he's been in over 20 some odd countries. He said he didn't just go there and just kicked his feet up, pretty much had his wife feeding him grapes and drinking lemonade, pretty much. He went there and actually experienced these places, right? So in doing so, he pretty much said, after visiting 20 countries as an American man, visiting 20 countries, he still came down to the conclusion there is no better place than the United States of America. There is no better place. You won't find a better place. You can hear people talk all day long about how terrible the United States is, but when it all comes down to it, I'd like to say, why are they still here? America's not a country of freedom and liberty. America is so free right now, America will let you leave and go get you a citizenship somewhere else. There's some countries where they don't allow them to leave. They got to have all this. America will, look, if you want to leave America, go ahead. Go ahead. I would love for you to do that. And not only that, the reason why I would love for you to do that, because you are fulfilling your dream, right? You are doing what you are passionate about. You are, if for ones that hate America, you are not passionate about America. You are passionate about leaving America. America stands behind you because America has something called liberty and freedom that we don't care. Go ahead. If you want, hey, we want you to have the best. And by us wanting you to have the best, go ahead, pack up all your things, go to another country and live there. Tina Turner did it. She relinquished her citizenship for U.S., and I forget where she is. I don't know if it's Amsterdam or what, but you can do it. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9 and News Talk of Bloomington Normal.
It's 4 o'clock. Cities 92.9. They can't cancel him or Cities 92.9. It's Cancel This with Ty Smith. The show brought to you by Heart Not Skin, the BN nonprofit ending racism.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. You can also text the show at 309-451-9299. And if you would like to see me live in the studio here in Cities 92.9 radio studio, you can go to YouTube right now, type in Modern Renaissance Man. Once you type it in, click on the thumbnail. That's a picture of me like a frozen. I know, I'm just serious. Some people don't know what that is. What's your thumbnail? Some of my older folks. Not hating on y'all, I'm just saying. But yeah, click on that and you will see me live in the studio where you can interact with me and I can interact with you. I want to bring out something that someone said on YouTube, and it's coming from someone named Lon Dog. Says, sometimes people get into discussions and their only purpose is to win an argument with you and also their pass on their view rather than listening and understanding someone else's view. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that a lot of people have in today's world is that, I'm just being honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, our current ideology and narrative that's being pushed right now does not want you to think. It wants you to react. It wants you to react like your body will react as if you put something got near you like something really hot. You guys ever experienced that? Has anybody ever accidentally touched something really hot and all of a sudden you responded? Your arm jerked back. It kicked back. Do you understand that you didn't even do that? You might think you did, but no, because you don't even have to be paying attention. Matter of fact, have any of you ever been bitten by a mosquito like on your arm? Do you really think that you're the one that said, oh, I'm being bit, let me get ready to smack my arm? Doesn't it seem like it's crazy how your body just instantly just goes for it? Isn't it amazing that when you end up feeling that heat hit you, your body responds and make you draw back? That's an automatic response. The reason why I say that is because mentally and emotionally, a lot of people, you actually don't have no idea that you've been actually pretty much groomed and brainwashed into doing nothing more than responding. Somebody say something, boom, you fired off. They say, oh, white people is the devil. Oh, you fired up. White people, yeah. Oh, white people are the reason why black people are disenfranchised. Oh, white people, I hate them all. We hate them all. We hate them all. You're taught to respond. And what you need to do is really look at the ones who actually are putting this on you. If someone is pushing this ideology and this rhetoric on you to where in their minds, they only want you to respond to what they're saying. They don't want you to check it out. They don't want you to go and research. They just want to say something that's going to tick you off and get you mad, and they just simply want you to respond so you can go out and try to be some social justice, virtue signaling, snow cone color haired, sad, depressed person. That's the only way that you're going to get anybody to pay you any attention. I'm just being flat out real. I talked with a group of folks this past week, and you had some of them that were really there. They wanted to hear, they wanted to listen. Then you had others that were there. You can just tell, guys, look, I'm the type of guy, I get to the heart of the matter with folks. Who you are when you with a group of friends, a lot of times, I'll say from folks that I've dealt with and counseled, mentored, 80% of the people, when they're in a group with folks, that's not who they really are. When I get them behind closed doors and I talk with them, now I'm getting to the heart of the matter who this person really is. So you'll find out that a lot of people, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of people who does this virtue signaling, they literally are doing it because it's bringing attention to them. They want somebody to tell them, good job. Hey, I like the way you spoke out. Having no idea that what they're saying, it doesn't even necessarily have to be right. There are people that got psychological issues that in order to get attention, they don't care if it's negative attention or if it's positive attention. As long as somebody is paying me some attention, they really don't care about actually helping black people like they claim they do. Because after that school board meeting, still to this day, none of them want to go to the areas that I have talked to them about going. But yet at the same time, they're for black people. Any way I can help black people. I've seen a few of them out there walking. They're easy to spot, y'all. They're really easy to spot. I don't know what it is that about the hair color and stuff. Not all of them are like that. I am not stereotyping. I'm simply talking about this group that was at the school board meeting. They know who they are. Not gonna say their names, but even when I see them out, I'm not saying this to be mean to them. I just go, hey, the snow cone, the snow cone color hair group or the snow cone color hair crew. They laugh at it, whatever like that. But reason I'm saying this is because, again, they only did that. Some of them admitted that I'm just being real. District 87, a lot of y'all teachers, phony. You guys put them up to it. They admitted it. I promised them. I built a little rapport with them and a trust with them. As a minister, I did that. I will not blurt y'all names out. I will never say it on the internet. I will never say it on Season 92.9. I won't ever say your name. They know. I got that trust with them. But there are a few of them that have emailed me and talked about certain things that they are dealing with. They're dealing with depression. They didn't have a father in their life. Their mother is currently someone that's actually on drugs or something like that. So a lot of them are doing it just because they want some type of affirmation from someone to say, recognize me, I'm here. So although they're out there speaking and trying to say they're standing up for the black people, what they're getting out of that is a false relationship that they may have built with some black people who says, oh, the snow cone color hair kids are with us. Y'all, it's really sad. I'm serious. It's really sad that a lot of them are doing it solely so they can get a relationship with somebody. It brings them attention. And yet at the same time, it gets them a relationship for the ones that they are fake virtue signaling for. So there's so many different complexes to this whole thing of what they're doing that a lot of people don't even realize. I didn't even know it until I actually personally talked with a lot of them. But look at the danger in that. Their heart is really not in it to really stand up for possible real injustices that happen to black people. Their heart is not in it for that. Their heart is in it solely to get them attention, to get them a friendship that they never would have had they not fake virtue signaled. But then the only thing about that is that when the person that you're virtue signaling for falsely, when they see that you're really not in it to really help them, now you're going to have an even deeper problem because they're going to turn on you because you never were in it to help them. You were fake virtue signaling because, like I said, none of them want to come to Decatur to go visit some of these places right now to see how a lot of blacks are living right now, still to this current day. People that were my age, still in the same areas that I grew up in. Their moms and some of them, their mothers are still in this area. Same exact spot where we grew up in. Homes and everything are ran down. I say to them, like, don't y'all want to get out of this? I mean, man, I ain't going to say the name, I'm just saying, Mr. T, you still here in this house? Yeah, I ain't trying to go nowhere. But then, yeah, Mr. T was one of the main ones when I was a kid. I'm getting up out of here. This is terrible. These terrible conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, you can do anything you want to do in America. You can move, but someone has this crazy hold on a lot of folks' minds to make them feel like they can't. Definitely on an emotional and mental standpoint, there are people currently right now that cannot move past slavery, and it blows my mind because you were not a part of it. You were not a part of it. It gets crazy to me that I can get told a story by my mom, or I can get told a story by my grandmother, and they can tell me a story about something that they faced. They can tell me a story about maybe a boyfriend that they had. He's still, my mom, I'm just being real. I'm not going to put it out there, but let's just say this. There are people that I know of right now, family members I know of. They had men beat them. Okay? I'm talking about domestic abuse. These men put their hands on my aunt. They abused them. What gets me is this. Even though I don't like the fact that they did that to my aunts, these men are all my aunts ain't with my aunts. One of my aunts in particular, she's no longer with this man and has not been with this man for over 40 years. Now, if my aunt is telling me a story right now, and she'll say, hey, you remember that boyfriend I had named Lamont? And I go, yeah. She say, well, he used to hit me too. Now, what do I look like? Something that my aunt told me that happened to her 40 years ago. What do I look like going and confronting Lamont? You put your hands on my auntie. I'm getting ready to beat you. What do I look like going to do that? You know what I'm trying to say? Do y'all understand what I'm getting at? My point in saying all that is this. Lamont is still alive. That even though I have no business confronting him, he's still alive. Our oppressors, way back when, are no longer here. But what you want to do is throw blame at anybody that looked like our oppressors. Excuse me. What about Indians? They had black people as slaves. What about other blacks that had people as slaves? Do we go after them? No. Why? I would like for somebody to call in and tell me why. 309-451-9299. Call in and tell me why we're not going after Native Americans and we're not going after other blacks. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9, the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is 309-451-9299. You can also text the show at 309-451-9299. And if you would like to see me live in the studio on YouTube, go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, click on the thumbnail or the still shot picture that says live, and come right on into it. And if you're having a hard time really finding that, you will see the title on YouTube. It says Breaking News. Join me as I interview Brian, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, click on that icon right there, and you can see me live in the studio. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest things you're going to hear on this radio show a lot is me talking about Heart Not Skin, because this is the antidote to Black Lives Matter. HeartNotSkin.com and Bloomington, Illinois, non-profit organization who just want to push a message out there that what we're trying to do has nothing to do, and it will never have anything to do with the color of our skin. It's going to have everything to do with what's on the inside of you, which is your heart. I'm not talking about a physical heart. I'm talking about the very consciousness of who you are behind closed doors. That's who you really are. What you do behind closed doors and nobody else see, that's the real you. And the real you inside that shell that will one day die has nothing to do with the color of it. HeartNotSkin.com. Go over there, purchase you a t-shirt. You can also contribute to the cause by ending racism by doing this. So a nonprofit in Bloomington, Illinois, ending racism, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, someone made a comment about everything that we see escalating right now and the origins of it, how we have a lot of push for blacks having it hard in America. Everything is being based on racism, and America is the worst country in the whole wide world because of what they did to the slaves and X, Y, and Z. And before we took the break, I was letting you guys know how I had an aunt who had a boyfriend that put his hands on her. And I was pretty much saying how if she told me the story about what he did to her, but she said, oh, he did it to me 40 years ago. Yeah, it would upset me that this man did that to her. But what do I look like going after that man's great-grandchildren and grandchildren? You see what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all don't understand this, but this type of analogy that I just gave, which is a true story, but that analogy, these are the type of things that I feel that a lot of us should be saying to our children. You know what I mean? Give them examples like that. Give them little small, analogies showing them that this is what they're trying to currently make black people do. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, you want white people who are alive right now to pay back or acknowledge, or even, I don't know what they're looking for. You want them to be responsible for that when they had nothing to do with it. Nobody in their right mind, I don't care who it is, will be able to convince me otherwise that we should be ticked off at white people right now because of what some white people did. Want to know why? We got to go down this rabbit hole, what I call truth. And truth will lead you in all kinds of different directions. You're going to find out if we start hearing, let's start here in America. America was racist against blacks. Well, who was the ones that were enslaving blacks? The white people. Time out. There were Indians too. You know that, right? You do know that Indians enslaved black people too, right? You know that black people were being sold to Indians too, right? You do know that Indians also enslaved other indigenous people too, right? Y'all didn't know that? Oh, you do know that black people also sponsored other blacks to come over on ships, so they can have them be indentured service. And once they served out their indentured servitude, they was able to go do exactly what the very person that purchased for them to come over to do. You do know that, right? Oh, that's just in America. But if we go further out there with the transatlantic slave trade, we got to go further than that. You really think that some white man came into one of the blackest, black countries and just said, go round them up, boys. Let's get them slaves, get them Negroes, get them all. You really think some white men went and did that in a country full of just black folks? Now, I know some folks are like, what in the world? But this is what was told to us when you're going through school. They want to show you videos like Roots. This is how black people got over into America. Show the white people show up. He out there trying to find some roots, digging up roots. He was literally digging up roots or whatever that he gave to his family that he would feed to him. All of a sudden, white person come up and knock him upside the head right there and drag him off. They just kept on doing that. That did not happen that way. What people don't want to tell you guys is this. I kind of see we kind of in that predicament a little bit right now. You're kind of experiencing what globalists can do. Slavery, before we even got to the transatlantic slave trade, slavery was going on in all the world. I said this on Fox News and caught hell for the black community. I can care less because I'm not about no color. I'm about kingdom, God's kingdom. So I can care less what color you are. Slavery was going on in all the world. The word slave came from the word Slavs. Slavs were white people. Oh, boy. So what I'm saying this for is this. I'm talking about from India. They had one of the biggest slave trades going on. China had one of the biggest ones going on. The Arabics, they all had this thing was going on. It was a global thing that was going on in all the world. I hate to say it this way. It had became a norm. Well, I can't believe that. Well, look right now. God dang it. Look around and see how many people got a dang on face diaper on their face. How in the world was that ever a thing? Look how they did it now. The same exact type of psychology got played on people. Look what we see going on over in Canada. They were like, man, look, this is a street term culturally. I'm just saying among black folks, some of y'all going to understand this. Police were there in Canada deboing people. In other words, they were bullying people. And you say, well, how did they get like that? The same exact way how they got, I'm not say us, I'm talking about y'all, not me. The same way they had all y'all going in every establishment wearing a mask. Now, I'm not talking about work-related things where there's germs floating around anyway, like when I work in hospitals and facilities like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about going in Lowe's, going in Walmart, going in Home Depot. You going in there wearing not me. So what I'm saying is that these same folks, understand this, these same people, this same evil, this knowledge that they've done to get people like this has been passed down from generation to generation. That same type of psychological play was played on America. And oh, my God, can you imagine? If they had the internet back during the days when slavery was going on in all the world, my God, we would probably still be slaves today. I'm not just talking blacks. I'm talking all of us. The globalist elite that did what they did way back during that time when all the world was being enslaved by those who had the money, the power. Those same exact globalist folks, descendants of those same globalist folks, are the same exact ones that's playing games with a lot of us right now. So riddle me this. Why is America the biggest focal point of racism? Why America? Man, people over in other countries all seem to know that America, racism. But boy, Brazil, Portugal, they probably like, oh my God, thanks so much. They don't know anything about us, that America only got like 4% of all the slaves, and us down here in Brazil, we got like 24%. Oh, no, y'all didn't know that, huh? You know that a huge majority of them went to Portugal. Like, that's where the majority of them went. How come we don't hear no news reports of them down there? Black slaves. We got them all. How come you don't hear them in the streets? Black bladder, Negro life bladder, Negro life. You don't see them in the streets saying Negro's life matters, do you? By the way, if y'all trying to say, why are you saying Negro? Because Negro is black in Spanish. Negro, look it up. My point is, you don't see that going on in Brazil. Do you see any black people out there in Brazil marching talking about Black Lives Matter? If 24% of our ancestors, I'm talking black people, went to Portugal, then where are they at? Why ain't they trying to make their way up and cross over the border? You get what I'm saying? We putting all the focus on America because America is racist. It was founded on racism. No, it was not. And I'm going to say, look, oh my God, folks about that. I know I make people hot when I say that. If slavery was a norm in all the world. And whether you was white, like Irish people, black, Indians, I'm not talking about Native Americans, Indians from India, Arabic, Chinese, no matter what color you were, whoever you got sold to in whatever country they sent you to. I asked the question then, how can it be founded on slavery when all shapes, colors, and creeds were being shipped to all kind of different areas? No white people were being shipped to America. Yeah, that's because you don't know your history. You don't know your history. They don't tell you everything. Folks, you hear something that sounds real profound and prominent and absolutely don't have no idea that it has no real sustenance to it. It has no real meat to it. It has no real message behind it. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. People cheer, woo! Malcolm X said something. You have no idea that when actually we did land on Plymouth Rock, the Pilgrims arrested the people that had those people as slaves. They freed those slaves. The Pilgrims freed those slaves that landed on Plymouth Rock and actually put the people that had the slaves, they put them in prison for man stealing. It was illegal to man steal. Why don't they tell us that in our histories? How come they don't tell us that in college? Why are they keeping that information away? And whoever is allowing that information to be taken away out of those books, those are the very people. That's the very power that we need to be questioning. And that same power is the same power that claims that they want to have wokeism in their companies. It claims that they want to have equality and equity. No, they don't want equality. They want equity, inclusion. I know I'm on a roll right now, folks. More of the show when we come back. We're getting ready to take a break. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal.
The Twin Cities. Take them back with Cities 92.9.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here, area code 309-451-9299. And you can also text the show at 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio, you can go to YouTube. Go in YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man. And when you do that, type in that specifically like that, Modern Renaissance Man. Once you do that, click on my icon that says live. So before we took the break, I was pretty much giving a breakdown, which I've done so many times on this show, but we always have new listeners. And I bring in the real history of how America came to be. I bring in the history before any person that was black came over to America, right? And when you do that, what you find is that it can end up getting rid of a narrative that they try to push. That we are so, and I'm not saying that every person is beautiful and special in God's eye. It's in my eyes too. But what you will find is that a lot of people want to make it seem like we were the only ones that were enslaved. And it pisses people off. And the reason why it does is this. Once you find out that there were black people that were enslaved when they got over here, there were Indians that were enslaved over here, there were white people that were enslaved over here, then all of a sudden you don't seem to be the cream of the crop to put the focus on anymore, right? That's the truth that they keep out of our school systems. That's the truth that's been kept out of our history in college. I learned quite a bit, and shout out to Mr. Rydell, St. Louis, at SLU, at Flo, I think Merrimack, wherever you taught at, Mr. Rydell, shout out to you for that. He gave me a good little history lesson, but he didn't go this deep into it. They probably wouldn't let him anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna address a comment here that came in through text. It says the reason for the push of CRT on racism now is to divide American people because the left knows that together we stand and divided we will fall. And ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I went into the other day, and I'm going to go into it again. Our Pledge of Allegiance, at the end of it, and I know some of y'all are hearing a repeat right now, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The evil has found some way to take those last four things, and they felt, and here's just what I love about the Pledge of Allegiance. Notice that those last things, I look at that as the foundation. A foundation is something that's underneath. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That foundation is up under everything that's before that, holding all that up. So even though you say the Pledge of Allegiance the whole way through, those last four things are the foundation, right? And then it goes even a little deeper than that. One nation under God. with liberty. Y'all see what I'm getting at? One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. But that liberty, indivisible, justice, that was a one nation that was under God. But what the evil has done right now, they found some way to actually go after those very principles at the end of the Pledge of Allegiance. Justice for all. How can we stir something up to show them that there is no justice for all? Oh, the black people. Let's go after the black people. Hey, guess what, black people? You want to know what white people like myself have done to your people? We beat you. We whipped you. We raped your women. We shamed your men. We castrated your men. Yeah, we did that to you guys. Don't you think we owe y'all something? Hey, guess what, black people? I have white privilege and you don't. Want to know why, black people? Because you're not white. Guess what, black people? Everything that my ancestors put together in that Constitution was only put there to benefit us white people. Yep, buddy. Sorry, black folk. You get none of this. Guess what, black people? Affirmative action was the best thing. Guess what, black people? Welfare was the best thing for black people. Yeah. Now, see, I said that way, and all of a sudden people getting ticked off. Why are you smart? No. That's what I'm saying. You're getting mad, but that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly how they're playing it at you, but they put some emotional, twist to it to get you all worked up, to get you all wound up. That's exactly what they do. So there we go. Where's the justice? And what do you see black people in the streets doing? Everybody should get justice. I don't care what color you are. Everybody deserves justice. It says justice for all. Well, we don't get justice. We don't get the same justice that white people get. What do you mean justice? What do you mean by that? You got people out here marching and saying all these things, but then don't even give me those specific examples. And then some of the examples that they do give me, they don't add up. Well, this black guy right here, he raped a girl, and he got 25 years in prison. We got a white dude. He raped the girl, and they only gave him 9 years. I say, well, can you get a little bit more distinct with that? What state was it in? Because, all states do got different laws. See, there you go. You always, I need it because different states got different laws. Heck, if it was Texas, both of them probably going to get killed. No, because no, you can't do that. See, you can't come at me and throw out this nonsense like that without giving me no facts behind it. I didn't know some details in it. The girls that got raped, how old were they? Is one girl still able to bear children? Did one girl get beat half to death? Did he also cut her and stab her? I don't know. You said, I get it. So I need to know why one person got more time than the other. But you're not just going to tell me that a white person got less time than a black person based off of the color. There's no justice for black people. We can't get justice. See what I'm saying? The enemy knows. Let's go after that. How can I start a fire with that? Let's go after justice. Liberty. Indivisible. Said one nation under God. Indivisible with liberty and justice for all. I just hit on justice for all. What about liberty? Liberty. No, but with liberty, that came for all of us. It came for every last one of you guys that are listening to my voice right now. I heard so many of you saying, look what they're doing with all this masking, with all this vaccination, with the card. They're taking away our rights. They're taking away our freedoms. Freedom and liberty is the same. They're taking it away. And I know in some instances, I would tell you guys, no, you actually are giving it away. You're giving it away. You decided to do that because people buy word of mouth. One of my jobs one of the facilities that I go to, I wrote up a whole little religious exemption and everything about why they cannot tell me that I have to have this vaccination. I'm not going to take the vaccination. I've never been vaccinated in my life with anything. Never. Nothing. Nada. And I'm going to continue to be that way. Well, this is a little different. I don't care what is different. I'm not doing it. But there were some people that by word of mouth, they ended up doing it anyway. And they got upset when they found out that they necessarily didn't have to because they didn't understand their rights. If you don't understand your rights, they can be taken from you. If you don't understand your freedom and your liberties, it can be taken from you. See what I'm saying? They went after the justice part by getting us fired up over that. Went after liberty. One nation under God, indivisible. Let's hit on the indivisible. Where do we start? We can already start with the racism. They want us divided on race. White people are the superior being. Black people are the inferior. White people are knowledge reigns supreme, although it's actually Asians who actually do way better than both races. But they're not going to bring you all those statistics, right? Yeah, I know they're not. They're not going to show you that people that come from like places like Nigeria, Africans come over into America and do better than African Americans. Why? What racism are they facing? Well, you see, actually, brother, when I went to college, I never had anybody come to me and say anything about me being black. Yeah, I have a lot of African friends that tell me that very same thing. I say, have you ever faced racism where a person don't like you because you're black? They go, no, not America. I'm just saying because apparently we getting it. So the real Africans from Africa is not getting the racism thrown at them, but then African Americans, so y'all say, black folk, they're getting it. How is it that these people, I got people that work that are from India, that are from Nigeria, they're from Kenya, and they are professional. They're occupational therapists, they're doctors, they're all these different things. So they can come over to our country and achieve these great things, but then yet you have us in our country who seem not to be able to do so. Why is that? Why is that? So what I'm saying, they want to divide us. It says indivisible. Well, guess what? They're making it divisible. Separating us by color. Always about skin. Always about skin. Always about black and white. Black and white. Black and white. Whites don't like black. Now you got hate crimes against Asians. Everything is going to be racist. Everything. Gosh. Trying to tell black people that, you definitely want to go to school and learn to read and write and do math. All that's racist. We're taking that out because it's a disadvantage to the blacks. They're literally calling you ignorant and stupid to your face. Y'all do know that, right? If someone came to me and said, Ty, I'm so sorry. I don't ever want you to count again. I don't want you to type anymore. I don't want you to write anymore. Don't read anymore because that is so racist for you to do those things. You calling me stupid. That's what you're doing. You're calling me stupid to my face. But you hide behind this mixture of blended words and this crazy psychology thing you're trying to throw on folks. But you're literally saying I'm stupid as if I'm not capable enough to be able to read and write and do math. And now you want to throw this word racism. But see what I'm saying? They got people so focused on racism that when most folks take on and bite into it and seeing that this is racist what white people did, it's racist. Now they can throw racism behind. It's racist for black people to eat marshmallows. Black people do not eat marshmallows, only eat the chocolate ones. Black people don't even eat rice no more, eat brown rice. Black people don't eat Kix cereal, eat Cocoa Puffs. Because the Kix cereal represents skinheads. And skinheads are all white supremacists. I'm sorry, folks. Black folks don't play pool now. Because the one that takes advantage of all them other colored balls is the white ball. The white ball is knocking all the balls off the table. The white ball represents the white man, and the other color balls represents all the color people of the earth. And the pool table represents the earth. Notice that most pool tables is green. See, the green represents the earth. Then what did the white man do? The white man knocked every last color, creed, and tribe off of the face of the earth. And the last one they wanted to knock off was the black man. Pool is racist. This is what people said to us before. People have literally pushed this stuff on us in the hood. And if you're a young teenager or preteen, in your mind, it makes sense, don't it? Especially if you look in history and see that, it was some white people that had black people enslaved. But then it just seemed like it makes sense. I know, I'm sorry, y'all. We got to get ready to take a break here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ty Smith. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. We will be right back. What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man. You're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio, go over to YouTube right now. Type in Modern Renaissance Man. Once my icon / thumbnail jumps up and you see it and you know that it's me, click on it and it should say live, right? You can see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you can interact with me. And what I just got done doing, ladies and gentlemen, before we end this show off, I'm going to make sure I try to hit on everything. I was pretty much saying that the foundation of the Pledge of Allegiance rests on those last four things. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I just broke down with each one of those segments that it seemed like the evil has attacked. It attacked the justice, right? It attacked the liberty, and it attacked the indivisibility, right? So, indivisible. I just got done. I know what's funny when I start hitting on all these different things that they're just trying to make racist. We got to talk about how they're making cereal racist. They're making all kinds of different things racist. But I want y'all to riddle me this. What we just seen happen a few years ago, I remember being in St. Louis. Matter of fact, I told my wife, please go out. I told my sons, because y'all just never know. There used to be things back in my day where we used to say, I'm going to keep this because this is going to be worth some money one day. And we didn't keep it. We just thought it was a stupid thing. We couldn't fathom or dream that there was going to be something called eBay one day, or those places like that where you can buy things online. We never thought that people would be want to collect certain items. Guys, I had like every last one of those McDonald's, I don't even know what you want to call them, Transformers. You know, it looked like a cheeseburger, and then you can flip it in. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The listening audience, y'all know what I'm talking about. The audience on YouTube, y'all know what I'm talking about. It used to be these little McDonald's toys that look like a Big Mac. And you unflip it, and it ended up being like some type of little, I don't know what you even call them. Big Macatron or French Fryatron. I don't know what you call them. But I had almost all of those things. And we used to always say, me and my brother used to joke and say, hey, keep those because you know it's going to be worth some money one day. We didn't keep them. Man, them things darn near $200-$300 for just one on eBay. Amazing. The reason why I say that is this. Look what they've done. They've gone so woke. They've gone so woke that Aunt Jemima taking her face off of the box because she looks like slavery and slavery and oh look how they look at her, look how black they have her and X, Y, and Z. Took her off of the box because they gone woke. And there are black folks out there right now that have no idea that Aunt Jemima was a real person. No, her name wasn't Aunt Jemima, but her himself, because that's what people called her, was a real person. That lady created a business post-slavery, early post-slavery. I think in the 1800s, late 1888, she created a pancake business, and her biggest customers were white people. Can you believe that? White people lining up and paying to eat this woman's pancakes. And she was a black woman. She wasn't just black, she was black. Now, I know I can say this. I'm Ty Smith. I know as a black man, I know black people got immunity to saying a whole lot of things. I know a white person can't get on here right now. Like my producer said in there, he probably can't get in here right now and say she was black. She wasn't just black. She was black. That dude is racist. He said black because, you know, white people can't say black because, you know, they just can't. That lady was black. When I say black, I'm talking about she was dark. Her skin was really dark. She was featured on those pancake boxes. I told my wife the minute they start saying that is a racist thing, we're taking it off. You had folks, I know they didn't know their history. You had folks that went, take her off that box. These young virtue signaling folks, again, black and white. That is so racist. Look how they got her looking. Why they got the bandana on her head? Look how dark they have her. And look how they have this. That's just such a depiction of slavery. That's what she looked like. You can look it up on Google right now. Look her up on Google right now. That's exactly what she looked like, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all took that woman's face off of that box because y'all felt that it was racist to put her on there because she looked like a slave. She was one. She created a business post-slavery. She created a business selling pancakes and cooking for people during a time when there was things in place for there to be discrimination against black people, and that was a norm. Colors over here. Whites only. But them white folks is lined up to eat them pancakes. So what I'm saying is this. I cannot imagine right now if I have a product, and I'm just saying that, if Aunt Jemima, if that was a descendant of somebody that was in my family, and she was my great-great-great-great-grandma, me, as a descendant of her, I would be ticked off that y'all took my great-great-great-great-great-grandma off of that box. My grandma should be on all those boxes because my grandma did something so profound, it's unheard of. My grandma was selling pancakes, her own recipe, and white people were eating them during the time that we were supposed to be so crazy racist and all this stuff like that black folks just wasn't doing anything. All we were doing during that time post-slavery was being beat, was being robbed. All these bad things were just happening to us because that's what we're being told. So how was she able to be so successful? How was Aunt Jemima able to be so successful during a time where we weren't? Why isn't her story being told like this? Why isn't her story being told that this is exactly what this woman looked like that was on that box? So I had my wife go out and I'm like, please go out and buy a box of Aunt Jemima right now because I'm keeping that box. Yeah, when we eat the pancake mix out of there, I'm keeping that box. Then you're going to say, we're going to put it with a more, and this is what's an insult too. We're going to put it with a more, modern look and pretty much a more beautiful. So the woman that's on the box they put on there look like Claire Huxtable. I'm just saying. They put a permanent. Some of y'all not going to get it. The new Aunt Jemima, she got a relaxer. Knowing good and well no black folks' hair was like that back during that time. They know good and well no black folks' hair was like that during the time. They gave her a relaxer and made her look straight. I'm serious. She looks like Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show. That's what she looks like now. If I was a descendant, I would be highly offended. Don't put my real great-great-great-great-grandma back on that box. But because of that, because they had so many black folks behind them, yeah, that's racist. Look how they got her looking. Had the band down on her head. Got her real super black. Got her looking like that because that's what she looked like. Put my great-great-great-grandmother back on the box. Look at the division there. Y'all get what I'm saying? We can no longer allow them to do these things like that. And but I'm leaving y'all with this. The last thing they attacked is, and they're not going to win on, is God. One nation under God. One nation under God. One nation under God. United States of America. One nation. United. One nation. United. Under what? Under God. Under God you will have liberty. Indivisible. Justice for all. Under God. America. Bloomington Normal. We have to get back under God because under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice will be there. And as long as we are under God and one nation under God, we will continue to win, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know why? Because God never loses. I hope you all have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys that are listening to me are in great health. God bless you all through Jesus.